It's dinner time. You filled the bowl, set it down, and stepped back. Your dog walks over, sniffs it, looks up at you and looks back at the bowl. Maybe takes one hesitant bite. Maybe doesn't even do that. Just stands there, tail hovering, food untouched, staring at you like you've done something wrong. The food is fine. You know the food is fine. Yesterday they were inhaling it before you'd even straightened up. You haven't changed the brand, the bowl, the routine. Nothing is different, except you're standing there, watching. So you leave the room, walk around the corner, and within 30 seconds you hear it. The sound of enthusiastic eating. Most people assume it's a quirk, a phase. Some dogs are just weird about food. But animal behaviorists and canine cognition researchers have studied this exact behavior, and what they've found completely reframes what you think is happening at that bowl. This isn't about the food at all. It's about 15,000 years of social evolution, and what your eyes are saying without you knowing it. Let's start with the obvious explanations, because they feel reasonable. Maybe they're not hungry, except the hunger disappears the moment you leave. Maybe the food is off, except it's the same bag you opened yesterday. Maybe it's a dominance thing. Maybe they're waiting for permission. Maybe they're being dramatic. These are the explanations most people land on, and almost all of them miss the point. Here's the cleaner test. Put the bowl down, stand in the doorway facing away. Most dogs will eat. Turn around and make direct eye contact. Most dogs will stop. Repeat that a few times and a pattern emerges that can't be explained by hunger or food quality. The variable isn't what's in the bowl. The variable is your gaze. And once you understand what that gaze actually communicates, not to you, but to them, everything clicks. Start with wolves, because dogs' entire social operating system was built inside wolf pack dynamics before domestication reshaped it. In a wolf pack, feeding is the most socially loaded event of the day. Who approaches the kill? First, who eats how much? Who waits at the edge? All of it is governed by direct eye contact and body posture. A sustained stare from a higher-ranking animal at a food source is not a neutral gesture. It means, I am watching this resource. Domestic dogs diverged from wolves approximately 15,000 years ago. Thousands of years of living alongside humans have changed a wide range of their behaviors, but the deep-wired interpretation of a direct stare over food was not one of them. When you stand over your dog and watch them eat, your intention is warmth. Their nervous system is reading something closer to social surveillance. Canine behaviorists classify what happens next as a conflict behavior. The dog wants the food, that drive is real. But the social signal is real as well, so they freeze. They hesitate. They check in. They're not being fussy. They're doing exactly what 15,000 years of social evolution shaped them to do when a dominant presence is monitoring their food. Pause and assess. Here's where it gets really interesting. Norwegian dog trainer and behaviorist Turid Rugaas spent decades cataloging what she called calming signals, a specific vocabulary of body language dogs use to reduce social tension. The look away from the bowl, the glance up at you, followed by deliberate avoidance of eye contact. These aren't random. They're appeasement gestures. Your dog isn't ignoring the food. They're trying to negotiate the atmosphere. Now add the chemistry. Research measuring salivary cortisol in dogs, cortisol is your stress hormone, has found that sustained direct human gaze from above produces a statistically measurable hormonal shift, and cortisol, at elevated levels, suppresses appetite. The same mechanism that kills your hunger when you're nervous before a difficult conversation is operating in your dog at the bowl. They're not being dramatic. They're experiencing a mild but real stress response, and that stress response is suppressing the hunger that should be driving them to eat. But here's the paradox almost nobody talks about. Your dog loves your gaze. In 2015, a team of researchers at Asabu University in Japan published a study in the journal Science measuring oxytocin levels in 30 dog owner pairs. Oxytocin is the neurochemical of attachment, the molecule that floods a mother's brain when she holds her newborn. When a dog and their owner hold eye contact, both of them experience a surge in oxytocin simultaneously across species. The bond deepens in both directions at once. They tested the same thing with wolves raised by humans, and the loop didn't activate at all. So the same gaze, the same eyes from the same person carries completely different information depending on context. In the living room, it says, I see you, I'm with you. At the food bowl, it says, I am watching what you are doing with this resource. Same eyes, opposite meaning, and your dog reads the difference every single time. Here's what I want you to sit with. Research from the Family Dog Project at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest has shown that dogs outperform chimpanzees, our closest genetic relatives, on tasks involving reading human social cues. They follow the direction of our gaze. They interpret pointing gestures spontaneously without training. In some tasks, they perform comparably to human toddlers. Chimpanzees, who share 98.7% of our DNA, can't do this. Dogs can. Because they didn't evolve to live with other primates. They evolved to live with us. Your dog has spent 15,000 years learning to read human beings. What stands in front of you now is the end product of that entire selection process. And what they're reading when you stand over that bowl is not, "My person loves me." It's, "Something about this moment requires my social attention." The food is right there. The hunger is real. But the signal coming off you is louder. So, they wait. They check in. They're not being difficult. They're doing exactly what evolution built them for, reading you, even when it costs them dinner. But I need to tell you when to stop laughing about it and start paying attention. Everything I've described so far is normal social behavior. The fix is simple. Step back, break eye contact, give them space, and they eat. That pattern you can live with. What you shouldn't live with is a change in that pattern. If your dog has always eaten fine when you leave the room, and suddenly they're not eating even then. Or if a dog who never hesitated about food at all starts doing it, that is a different signal entirely. And in dogs, a sudden unexplained change in appetite is one of the earliest and most consistent indicators of illness that veterinary researchers have identified. It tends to appear before lethargy, before visible pain, before any obvious physical symptom. The body redirects resources away from digestion as one of its first responses to fighting infection, managing pain, or dealing with internal stress. In older dogs especially, disrupted eating patterns can be an early sign of canine cognitive dysfunction, the equivalent of dementia in dogs, which affects an estimated 35% of dogs over the age of 8. One of the hallmark early symptoms is a disruption to learned routines, including feeding behavior. Your dog doesn't have language. The food bowl is one of the clearest behavioral signals they have. If that signal changes in a way that doesn't resolve when you step out of the room, trust it, because they are trying to tell you something, and the bowl is the only way they can say it. So tonight, try it. Put the bowl down, walk away, and listen. And if they eat, they will. You'll know it was never about the food. It was about you watching. Drop a comment below. Does your dog eat the second you leave, or do they wait even then? I want to know. And if you want to understand why your dog sometimes brings their food out of the bowl and drops it at your feet before eating it, that behavior has a completely different explanation, and the science behind it is one of the stranger things I've come across. That's the next video.